Narrator, Hanae Marhara. I organize a few books. I didn't have time to read them before because my brother and I were focused on other types of training. And although I know a lot about my blessing, these books can help me even more. I grab the books and hold them up. I only need one in total. My mother was talking to her spirit before looking at me. When she finished speaking, she approached me to ask me about the books. Did you find the one I told you about? Yes, isn't this it? I showed her the book I grabbed. She grabbed it and looked at it. Lamentin also accompanied her. A few seconds passed until she finished doing it. If this is the one you need, although I imagine your grandfather told your brother the same thing, books no longer have anything they can offer, other than knowing about their origins and what their family was like in the beginning. What about Blaze, your father? Nothing. What happens is that he talks to your grandfather about what they should learn. He trained them both because he's more experienced than Blaze, although he contributed most of it, since he was previously the strongest of the solar blessing until you were born. I would have done the same if my parents hadn't been killed, although I don't know if it was the best thing. Because you said so? You'll see it in the books. My mother walked into a room. Apparently, she had a new mission to attend to. I was left wondering what she'd said. Lamentin laughed when she saw me. She's nice and kind, but sometimes she can be a bit mocking. Sorry, I can't stop laughing. Your face is too serious. What are you thinking? Even though the question didn't make sense to me, because it's pretty obvious, at least to me, since I'm thinking, there's a lot of mystery in the air. I arranged the books on the shelf next to me, sighed, and looked at Lamentin. For all I know, there are things about my family I want to know, things I'll probably find in these books, but I'd like to know more about them. I approached Lamentin, who stood up and smiled as I watched her. You know something, please tell me. I don't want to. Of course, typical of Lamentin. I can't recall a single time she agreed to provide useful information. I don't think she's a bad person, nor do I judge her. I just wish she could answer my or my brother's questions for once and not refuse to answer them so much. Lamentin turned to look around the room, then looked at me with a mocking expression. Sorry, but I have to go. Let's continue our conversation later, Hanae. Just as I thought, my mother was called on a mission, and Lamentin, as her spirit, must go and help her. Before, Lamentin didn't usually go because she stayed behind to take care of my brother and me. But now that it's no longer necessary, she accompanies her on every mission, although that's another thing that surprises me. Unlike my father, he doesn't get involved in so many special grade missions, which require contact with the great leaders of the heroic society to carry them out. Obviously, not everyone gets involved in that. There are even holy knights who stay out of it and prefer a low profile. But why would my mother do that? I don't know. But I think these books can help me. Lamentin walked into the room. My mother probably called her, though she just stood next to the door outside the room. She looks like a statue from here. My mother left the room, looked at Lamentin, and then walked over to me. I have a mission to attend to. Do you need anything else? No, with this book I have everything I need to know. Okay, by the way, the book you have was written by our ancestor. The first one with a blessing. I stood there for a few seconds, thoughtful as my mother walked toward Lamentin before disappearing into the darkness. I grabbed the book again and made a mini bookshelf appear with my blessing of darkness. I can make it appear at any time, so it's very important to have it to store books. Even though it's only one, how many did my grandfather give my brother? While I wondered, I bent down to put the book back on the shelf. The shelf is made of what appears to be bones. It carries a dark aura with movements that can be seen reflected as if souls were flying out of it. It's quite strange, but oh well, it doesn't matter. I finished placing the book back on the shelf, which disappeared as I did. I looked at my clothes. I don't really feel like putting on my school uniform. I'd better wait a while. After all, my brother and I agreed to talk about something. I used the darkness to teleport, appearing in my room in my grandfather's house. I left and walked around the house until I came to the mini library where he was supposed to be. I saw my grandfather at the table reading a book with a few others scattered around. I walked up to him, stopped a little near the table, and looked at him. He was focused on his book, though he still noticed me.
I see you're back. It didn't take you long. Did you find what you were looking for?
More or less. Marlecio was also looking for something here. Did he find what he was looking for? My grandfather stopped reading the book, placed it on the table, and looked at me.
I gave your brother the book from the first one. They will find what they need to know.
I don't know if it's because I don't know my other grandparents, but my paternal family seems more mysterious to me than just to give a book. Since my maternal family is more understandable, there aren't many mysteries except for my mother's strange comment.
In this book, you will learn everything you need to know about your family and blessing. Once you finish it, your father Blaze will tell you something important about his family.
What can be so important that you can't read it in a book? But why does he have to say it? Why not read it in a book?
It's something you can't read in a book, because reading it there will only raise more questions than answers, whereas if he tells you, it will resolve your doubts instantly.
That makes sense, although it could be applied to the rest of the books, although I don't rule out that maybe there's something in these books that explains everything, and that's why our mother won't tell us anything. Although all I can do is wait and read it with Marlecio. Now I have to find him.